Alright guys, it is the beginning of a new month. We are heading to Carrion City. It is the month of realmathon. Let's get into the TBR. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and this is Claire's Neverland of Books. Today we are going over my March TBR. It is the month of realmathon, which is a team-based competitive readathon hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. I will leave her announcement video link down below. It is not too late to join. You can join at any point and backlog your reads that you've read so far this month. So if you're watching this late and have not joined, come join us on Stingers. That's the team to join. We are a little bit into the month already. This seems to be on brand for me so far, but let's talk about the books that I want to read. So realmathon is really good because there are prompts to fill, but they're not required. So you can really read whatever you want to read and then try to see if your book fits these prompts when you're submitting your books. But each team does have 2 bonus prompts, and the team that I'm on is Stingers, which is hosted by Mel from Eleanor Reads and Katie from I Would Rather Be Reading, and they got to pick their prompts. And our prompts are an author you've read from before and a book that has a book boyfriend or book girlfriend for you. So this leaves it very open for me to read what I want to read, and I'm so excited. We're going to start off with my book club pick for the month that I run over on Fabled called the Knee Deep Book Club. We are going to be reading Invoking the Blood by Callista Neath. I met her at Romantasy BookCon this last month and I fell in love with this book. The artwork she had on her table is what drew me in and made me buy this book. So it's really stunning. As you can see, there are 2 guys, which we are all here for a why choose, are we not? So this follows a girl who believes she has no magic and follows her sister to the Hunter's Moon Ball, which is a ball hosted by the Vampire Queen, basically. And while she's there, she runs into our main character, Rune, and him and his bloodlust, who is this other character. It's like an Eddie and Venom situation. Determine that she is their mate, and they must find her at all costs. So that ensues a game of cat and mouse a little bit. They are able to pull her into their mind, which I find that magic really cool. So I'm really excited to read this one. If you want to join, the link for my book club will be linked down below as well. Come join us, come hang out. Even if you don't want to read this one, come join for books that we'll read in the future, of course. And then if I end up loving that one, I probably will go into book 2. And then I did buy this little like novella full of, oh, that shine, of short stories that go along with this series. So some of these can be read after book 1 and some can be read after book 2. So if I enjoy that one, I will probably jump into book 2 and then go into this one. This author will also be at a Polycon, so I would really like to get to these so that I can talk to her more about her books in April when I see her, because it's always fun to, instead of them just giving us the pitch of what their books are about, going and actually talking to them about their books and their characters and what we loved about them. So I'm hoping that that one's a big hit for me. Another one along those lines is The Devil's Waltz by Jessie Elliott. I met this author at Romantasy BookCon, and they too will also be at a Polycon. And she actually is doing a pre-order that closes in a few days that includes book 2 to this series that doesn't come out until May. So she's saying that people that go to a Polygon basically get it a month early, which I would like to read this and then decide if I want to pre-order that one as well. This follows a girl who grew up in a world where supernatural are known, and her family are really big hunters of the demons in the supernatural world. So she had an incident that happened that made her want to not be a hunter anymore. So she's been living a normal life for the last 5 years, going to school, trying to be normal. And one day while she's closing up shop at the coffee shop she works at, she is attacked by a demon, and our love interest Xander shows up and saves the day. Well, Xander has a secret. He might be half human, half demon. He also might be the Prince of Hell, and he's tasked with getting in with our main character to help his mom, the Queen of Hell. It's so short. It's like 250 pages. I should be able to get to this really quickly and decide if I will continue on with the series, if it's something that I want to own. But she was super sweet when I met her at Romantasy BookCon, so I'm really excited to see her again in April and talk with her about her books. All right, another one. I'm going to hold up book 1 in the series, but I will be reading book 3 in the Veiled Kingdom series, The Rivaled Crown. I am getting an arc of this book. It comes out, I think, on the 18th, but my arc should be hitting my Kindle any day now, so I will be finishing up this series and hopefully enjoying it. Book 2 had a little bit of a lull for me, but I still enjoyed it a lot more than most, so I'm really excited to see how it ends, and hopefully I love it. Another one that I'm holding up book 1 because I don't own the rest of them is book 2 to Deals with the Demon. It's Dance with a Demon by Stasia Stark. I did confirm at Romantasy BookCon that it is Stasia and not Stacia, so I can feel better about always calling her Stasia because everyone I know calls her Stacia. But anyways, I read this for my book club pick last month and I had a really fun time with it. It is true, like, old school paranormal romance, good versus evil, fast-paced, fun, and I really want to continue this series. Audible is doing a sale and the next 3 audiobooks were like $2.99, so I might have bought them all. But Aurora Crate is continuing with 2 and 3 this month for their special edition, so I did want to get to that so that by the time that those get to me, I will have read them. I'm excited for that one too. Another hopeful for me is Feathers So Vicious by Liv Zander. This is a book that I've owned for quite a while now and I just haven't picked it up, but Cassidy read it last month and really enjoyed it and didn't expect to enjoy it with what the content is for this story. But Tori from Tori Between the Pages is doing this book as her book club pick on Fable, which I will also leave linked down below. I do want to join in with everybody and read this and talk about it and see if we all fall in line with loving it or hating it. But this is like a dark romantasy, very much check the trigger warnings because there's a lot of non-con and dubious consent, which I personally enjoy in a book. I don't know what that says about me. We're not going to analyze that, but it's Raven Shifters? Raven? Crow Shifters. One of the two. The Court of Ravens. Raven Shifters, which we're not going to talk about it being the animal that is one of my rival teams for Realmathon. The Ravens are going down. It's all about the stingers, guys. I am very excited to get to this eventually. Hopefully this month. I would love to be able to chat with everybody over on Fabled for this. We shall see. Another one that I picked up at Romantasy BookCon is The Blood That Binds Us by Erin Menord. I think I had this on a TBR last month or in January. I can't remember. But I did decide to pick it up from the author because I've been eyeballing this series for a while and they're not on Kindle Unlimited. And so I was just holding off and I talked with her at the event and she was such a sweetheart. She really pitched the story to me. So I bought books 1 and 2. I'm very excited. I think it's blood magic and he's like, I forget what he is, but he's some kind of monster and they're against blood magic, but he needs a blood mage for whatever he needs to do. So he like kidnaps her. It's Captor Captive, which is another one that I love. So I'm very excited for this. So I would really like to get to this one soon. A couple other ones that were also on my TBR, I think last month and the month before, but I have the audiobooks now. I really enjoy the audiobooks. I will be listening to them at work. We're not analyzing my reading patterns here because this is not something that people would read at work, but I do. We're not going to think about that. And that is God of Pain and God of Fury by Rena Kent. This is the one that I want to read. This is the romance that I've seen everyone love, everyone talk about. So a lot of people started with this book and then went back and read the rest of the series, but this is the one that I want to read. And you could go, Claire, you could just read that one. You don't have to read the other ones. But the problem is this one is about a character that I don't love. And I know that if I don't read it before reading that one, I'm not going to read this book ever. And I own it. So I need to read it. And I know that I'll like him more once we get into the story, but he's just a character that I don't love. So I'm really putting this one off because I really thought about picking up the other one. And I was like, no, I have to read this one because if I don't, I will never read it. And then it's just going to sit on my shelf for forever. And it's too pretty to do that and not have read it. So these two are on my list. This one I am so excited for. I think this one will be a 5-star where all the others have been 4 stars so far in this series, but this one, it's Nico and Brandon's book and I am so ready for it. So ready. Okay, and then another one where you're gonna go, Claire, you haven't read that yet. I know, okay. Life has been a little busy. I haven't been reading as much as I typically do, which is what I wanted this year. I did want to take it slow this year. I don't want to be reading an overwhelming number of books each month. So I'm happy with how many I'm reading. It's just a learning curve to really prioritize what I really want to read to make sure that I get them in for the month. And that is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I need to read this ASAP. ASAP. Look at this studying edition. This is the Alcrate edition. It's so pretty. So excited to have this. My favorite couple Olive and Adam are in this a bunch because this is also set at Stanford. So I just need to get to it so that I can see the cameos, that I can get to these characters. It says, a competitive diver and an ace swimmer jump into forbidden waters in this steamy college romance. It's Allie Hazelwood. It's gonna be 5 stars. There's no doubt about it. So I would really like to prioritize this one and get to this one soon. We'll see where the month takes us. Another one that I would love to get to this month, it just came out at the end of February and I was supposed to buddy read it with everybody, and I came back from Romantasy Book Con and I barely read the last week of February. But that is The Throne of Ice and Blood by Marion Blackwood. This is the sequel to Empire of Flame and Thorns that I read at the end of December and it was 5 stars. Absolutely loved this book, so I'm very excited to get to this one. I've noticed that a lot of people that have been reading it are giving it about 4 stars. It's just not as good as the first book, which a lot of second books in series have that issue. So I'm not so surprised, but I am excited nonetheless. I would like to read it this month so that I can order the special edition from the author. She does like a foiled edition, and if you order from her you get a couple art prints as well with it, and her artwork is stunning for these books that she has commissioned. So I would really like to get a matching set of this series that I think is supposed to be 5 books, and that is a lot of books, but we're still excited nonetheless. And then another one that I really want to give a try this month is The Last Ride of the Umbra Fae by Monica Amor. This just came out and I'm really intrigued by it. It is cowboy romantasy, and I feel like we can't go wrong there. But one of my friends, Emmy, did DNF it, and her and I tend to align, but then also I've DNF'd books that she loves, so we're a little hit or miss. But I trust her opinion on it, but she does think that I should give it a try still. It's only like 250 pages, so that's worth for me giving a try anyways. So I am excited to give this one a go still. I will give you thoughts if I do get to it. Listen, these last books that I have on my TBR, they probably all won't happen. We're not going to talk about it, okay? But I did the math. And these 3 books equate to over 3,000 pages. And it's not Brandon Sanderson. So I'm hoping to get to one, but when I do get in the mood for these, and I binge them. Like, I read 3 of them back to back last month. So, oh my god, that is 6, 7, and 8 in the Zodiac Academy series. So, Fated Thrones, Heartless Sky, and Sorrows and Starlight. Well, I'm only going to sit here and hold up one because we're not doing that. But where book 5 left off was such a bad cliffhanger, and I'm putting off book 6 because of what happened. I don't want to deal with that. It's a lot of pain. And I know that this book is going to be really hard, and I know that it gets resolved in this book, but is still lingering in the next book. I talked to my friend Nikki about it because I needed to know before I jumped into this book. I was like, I need you to tell me if this does get resolved in this book because I don't know how much of it I can put up with. And she was like, it gets resolved, but there's lingering effects into book 7. So we're gonna put our big girl pants on and we're gonna read this at some point this month. And I'm hoping that the momentum will hit me like it did last month, and we can binge through the other 2 as well. So lucky for me, almost all of these hit my bonus prompts for realmathon. So, I mean, obviously I've read The Twisted Sisters, I've read Allie Hazelwood, I've read Rena Kent, and all of these men and all of these series are book boyfriend quality level for me. So they all hit that prompt too, which is exciting. So that is it. We're capping it there. Who knows if I will actually read them or not. Obviously, there's other books that I want to read as well. I want to try to prioritize some more ApollyCon authors, probably more towards the end of the month and very early April leading up to ApollyCon, which is like the 2nd week in April. So we will see where that goes. I have a ton of authors that I want to read. So stay tuned for my April TBR because I bet it will be all the ApollyCon authors that I want to cram in before ApollyCon. But maybe I can fit some more in this month too. I'll keep you updated. And like I said, if you want to come with us to Carrion City, come join us at Realmathon. All the links are linked down below for Cassidy's announcement video. Come join Team Stingers because we're the ones that run the docks. All imports come through us. Everything comes through us to get to the city. So we run that spot. It's the best place to run. Let me know down in the comments below if any of these books are on your TBR. Have you read any of them? What did you rate them? And let me know what is on your TBR for the month. If you think there's something that I should pick up and read, let me know. And if you want to leave me an emoji, just say we're here. Leave me a jellyfish emoji for Team Stingers, the team to beat. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, guys. Bye!